Hello everyone. Today we are going to discussing about research process. What are the different research processes are involved in this research? Now we are going to discussing over here one by one. Uh, First of all, we are going to defining about research. Research can be defined as the search of knowledge or as any systematic investigation with an open mind to establish a novel fact, solve a new existing problem, prove a new ideas, or develop a new theories. Then research process. How that process is done. A research process consists of the series of actions or the steps necessary for the effective carrying out the research and the desired sequencing of these steps. Then method of research. The scientific method, this is the first method of research. These methods involve techniques for investigating phenomena, then acquiring knowledge, and then correcting and investigating a previous knowledge. Then historical method, this is the second method of research process. It involves the techniques and the guideline by which historians uses the primary source and the other evidences to research and then to write history. This approach may also be used with a artistic project development. Then the research sources. What are the research sources are involved for this research process? First one is the primary sources and second one is the secondary sources. The steps of the research processes are, there are total 7 steps are involved in this research process. Step by step, one by one, we are going to discussing over here. Here, shortly, I am going to introducing what are the steps involved in this research process. Step 1, define research problem. Then step 2, review of the literature. Step 3, formulating hypothesis. Step 4, preparing the research design. Step 5, data collection. Step 6, data analysis. And step 7, interpretation and report writing. Then depending upon this type here, we have divided the processes over here, and inside that process I'm going to discussing over with you regarding how that flow regarding to research process is done. First of all, we are going to defining the research problem, then reviewing that literature, then formulating that hypothesis. Then next we are moving forward towards design research. Then we are going to collecting that data, and again we are analyzing that data and interpreting and report from that data, and again that data revert back towards our research problem, where F is nothing but the feedback which helps to controlling the subsystem. Here F, wherever F it is introduced over here, it is going to help controlling that subsequence, and F it is a feed forward. That means it is a services the vital function of providing the criteria for evaluation purpose over here. Then next step 1, briefly we are going to introduce it over here. In that step 1, here we are defining there are two types of research problem. Why are those the relate to state of nature and relationship between the variable. Especially two steps are involved in defining the research problem. First one is the understanding the problem thoroughly and rephrasing the same into meaningful themes terms from any point of view. The next is the step 2, which is related to review of the literature. For this purpose, the manuals we are using, then company records we are using, then journal published data can be used for that purpose. For step 2, for this literature review. Literature review is the integral part of the entire research process and makes the valuable contribution to every operational steps. Reviewing the literature can be time consuming, uh, donating and the furnishing, but it also rewarding. Its functions are bring the clarity and focus to your research problem, improve your methodology, broaden your knowledge, and conceptualize your finding. Conceptualize your problem. Step 3, formulating of hypothesis. Formulating of hypothesis, it is the tentative assumption made in order to draw out and test its logical and empirical consequence. Hypothesis should be very specific and limited to the space of research in hand because it has to be tested. The role of hypothesis is to guide the researcher by delimiting the area of research and to keep him on a right track. In step 4, for this research process, it is nothing but preparing the research design. The function of research design is to provide for the collection of the relevant evidences with a minimal expenditure of efforts, time, and money. Research purpose may be grouped into four categories via exploration, description, diagnosis, and experimentation. Step 5, data collection. Primary data can be collected through by observation, through personal interview, through telephone interview, by mailing of questionnaires, through schedules. Then step 6, data analysis. The analysis of a data requires a number of closely related operations such as establishment of categories. This stage mainly includes coding, editing, tabularization, etc. Then step 7, interpretation and report writing. Researcher has to prepare the report of what has been done by him. Writing of the report includes the primary pages, the main text, and end matter. Then conclusion for this is a good quality research requires researchers to follow a scientific approach. Researchers must follow the scientific method in conducting the literature review, identifying the research gap, writing a problem statement, and outlining the research questions and research objective. Researchers must carefully select among a different researchers design, the selection of which depends upon the specific research questions and the overall objective of the study. This is all about regarding to research process. What are the types of research processes? What are the steps involved in that research that we have discussed over here? Thank you.